Handheld gaming in 2026 isn't what it used to be. We're talking premium OLED screens, desktop-level processors, and batteries that actually last through your commute. But with dozens of options flooding the market, which ones are actually worth your money? I've spent the last month testing the most talked about handhelds, and today I'm breaking down the 5 best handheld gaming consoles that stand out from the crowd. Whether you're chasing nostalgia with retro games or pushing AAA titles on the go, one of these is your perfect match. Let's get started. Starting at number 5, we have the Retroid Pocket 5, and if you're someone who grew up with a Game Boy in your pocket, this one's going to hit different. What immediately grabs you is that gorgeous 5.5-inch AMOLED display. We're talking deep blacks, vibrant colors, and a full 1080p resolution that makes retro games look absolutely stunning. I loaded up some classic GameCube titles, PS2 games, even some Nintendo 3DS, and the performance was smooth across the board. Under the hood, you've got a Snapdragon 865 processor with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Now, is it the most powerful chip in 2026? No. But here's the thing, for everything up through PlayStation 2, GameCube, and even some lighter Nintendo Switch games, it handles them beautifully. The Hall effect joysticks with RGB lighting are a nice touch, and more importantly, they're drift-free, which means you won't be dealing with that annoying stick drift issue down the road. Battery life surprised me. For demanding titles, you're looking at around 3.5 hours, but if you're playing Game Boy Advance or similar lighter games, this thing can push 11 hours. The active cooling system keeps things running smoothly even during extended sessions. Now, the one downside? The 128GB storage fills up faster than you'd think, especially if you're loading multiple large game libraries. You'll likely want to grab a microSD card to expand that storage. At around $213 on Amazon with coupons, this is the most affordable option on this list. I'll drop the link in the description box so you can check current pricing and availability. Moving up to number 4, the Lenovo Legion Go S is for those of you who want that big screen experience without lugging around a laptop. This thing sports an 8-inch display with a 120Hz refresh rate, 500 nits of brightness, and 100% sRGB color accuracy. That's 37% more viewing area than your typical handheld, and when you're gaming, you absolutely notice the difference. Powered by AMD's Ryzen Z2 Go processor with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, it runs Windows, which means you've got access to Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox Game Pass, basically your entire PC gaming library. The ergonomic design with those Legion True Strike controllers feels solid in your hands, and the anti-slip texture keeps things comfortable during marathon gaming sessions. The battery here is a 55.5 watt-hours unit, and Lenovo's Rapid Charge Pro Tech gets you to 50% in just 30 minutes. Real-world battery life sits around 3 to 4 hours for demanding games, which is decent but not spectacular for a device this size. Here's the catch, at 8 inches, this isn't exactly pocket-friendly. You're definitely carrying this in a bag, not your jacket pocket. If portability is your main concern, you might want to look at the smaller options on this list. But if you want that immersive, large screen experience and don't mind the extra bulk, this delivers. It's currently priced around $650 to $696 on Amazon, and yes, links in the description. At number 3, we've got the Asus ROG Xbox Ally, and this is hands down the best entry point into Windows handheld gaming right now. What makes this special is that Xbox-inspired design. Those contoured grips feel exactly like holding an Xbox controller, which means if you've spent any time on Xbox, you'll feel right at home immediately. It's packing AMD's Ryzen Z2 processor, 16GB of RAM, and a 512GB SSD. The 7-inch 1080p display runs at 120Hz with FreeSync Premium, which keeps everything buttery smooth. Since it's running Windows 11, you boot straight into the Xbox experience, and you've got access to Game Pass, Steam, Epic, basically everything. They even throw in 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Premium, which is a nice bonus. The 60 watt-hours battery with fast charging is a standout feature. You can go from 0 to 50% in just 30 minutes, which is clutch when you're trying to squeeze in a gaming session between meetings or on a flight. Real-world battery life lands around 3 to 4 hours for intensive gaming. Right now, Amazon has this at $499, which is an absolute steal. That's $100 off the original price. For that money, you're getting a premium Windows handheld with great ergonomics and solid performance. Check the link in the description for the current deal. Coming in at number 2 is the Anbernic RG476H, and this is where things get interesting for Android enthusiasts. This device features a 4.7-inch LTPS in-cell screen that delivers sharp, vibrant visuals that punch well above its price point. Running Android 13, you've got access to the Google Play Store, which means emulators, native Android games, and even cloud gaming services are all at your fingertips. What sets this apart is the AI functions integration. Anbernic has optimized the software to enhance gaming performance, automatically adjusting settings based on what you're playing. It's subtle, but you notice smoother frame rates and better battery management compared to older Anbernic devices. The 3D Hall effect joystick provides the drift-free precision we all want, and with 128 GB of built-in storage, you've got plenty of room for your game library right out of the box. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity work flawlessly, and here's a feature you don't always get in this price range: HD and TV output. You can connect this to your TV and play on the big screen, which is perfect for showing off your retro game collection to friends. The main limitation here is the screen size. At 4.7 inches, it's compact and ultra-portable, but if you're someone with larger hands or you prefer bigger displays for extended gaming, you might find it a bit cramped after a couple of hours. However, that compact size is exactly what makes it so pocketable. And here we are at number 1, the ROG RG477H. This is the flagship pick, and from the moment you pick it up, you understand why. That aluminum alloy CNC construction feels premium in a way that plastic handhelds simply can't match. It's got real weight to it, real substance, and it communicates quality. Under that beautiful exterior, you've got the MediaTek Dimensity 8300 processor running Android 14. This is serious power. We're talking about a chip that handles everything from classic NES titles all the way up to demanding PS2 and GameCube games with room to spare. The 4.7-inch touchscreen is sharp and responsive, perfect for that sweet spot between portability and playability. Battery life is where this really shines. That 5300 mAh battery keeps you gaming for hours. In my testing, I was consistently getting 6 to 8 hours of gameplay depending on what I was running, which is impressive for a device with this much power. The trade-off for all this premium quality? Price. This is the most expensive option on the list, and it's definitely positioned as a premium device for serious retro gaming enthusiasts. The aluminum construction, while gorgeous, also makes it heavier than plastic alternatives, not a deal breaker, but something to consider if you're gaming for hours at a time. All product links are in the description box below with current pricing and availability. Thanks for watching, catch you in the next one.